You are listening to Tom's Hirschsprung's podcast, where I provide a look into the remarkable experiences of the most inspiring people around Hirschsprung's disease and sports. Hello, and welcome to episode 9, which is the continuation of my chat with Shellie Warner. In part 1, if you haven't listened to part 1, we talked about her son Adonis, his diagnosis with Down syndrome and Hirschsprung's disease, and a fascinating story told by Shellie about Donnie and his experiences and where he's up to at the moment. In part 2, we are going to talk about Shellie's charity work, the fantastic charity work that she is currently doing and the charities she's working with, as well as stay tuned to the last part of this podcast where we will have a very exciting activity that Shellie is preparing for and taking part in. So definitely stay tuned to the end. And welcome back, Shellie. We want to talk about your charity work, how you got involved in various charities. If you wouldn't mind starting off with the Nottinghamshire or the Notts Down syndrome support and how you got involved with them.
Yeah, so the Nottinghamshire's Down syndrome support group are such a big group of different families who have got children living with Down syndrome in the area, and not only just in Nottinghamshire but in the whole of the East Midlands, really. The leader of and the creator of that group, Helen Coppins, has been such an amazing support for us. We actually were given a little welcome pack when we first had Adonis. They dish out these like homemade gift bags to the 2 hospitals in Nottingham that have like different leaflets and information packs and activities that they put on and stuff. They have like a football team and a dance warriors troupe, and they really do so much in the community. So we were straight away in the hospital in the NICU with the DS clinic supervisor, and she was giving us this welcome pack and being like, well done, and celebrating Adonis's Down syndrome diagnosis. And we got a little present, a little teddy bear and a blanket, some booties. It was just so thoughtful and just really what we needed to start uplifting our journey from the off. Like, I think that the support group and what they do for these families is just so pivotal in starting off their journey on a positive note and really welcoming them into a complete community where you don't have to be afraid of your baby's future, because you can see for a fact that all these people are thriving with the same diagnosis, and some of them worse diagnoses, and have a lot of problems and still get on with their lives and really, really just blossom in the community. And they've really been 100% supportive and just what we needed. I mean, we go to their toddler support groups, and I talk to the other mums with the babies who have Down syndrome as well, and we've really met friends for life through that group, and I'm so grateful for everything that they've done. I mean, yeah, it was just what we needed, I think.
Fantastic. Yeah, that's really, really important. And the point I'm going to pick up on about welcoming you in, because you said in the last episode it can be just an initial shock if you do have a child that's diagnosed with Down syndrome, and having that welcoming space and that sort of don't be afraid and the gift bags and all of the fantastic work that they do, I imagine can be an excellent help. Really, really.
Yeah, I mean, it was complete 180 to how some of the doctors reacted to the diagnosis. They were more apologetic. I'm really sorry that you've got a diagnosis of Down syndrome in your little boy. And I was like, why should I be sorry? And like, I feel like that was who he's supposed to be. I couldn't imagine him in any other way, in any other light. I think he's exactly what I needed anyway. But he's really showed me and his dad that life is just not to be taken for granted. It shouldn't be. And everyone is should be really grateful for having such a magnificent light in their life like Adonis, and really teaching us what life should be like and how it should be lived, because they are so positive. All of the children are. The children and young adults they work with, the support group work with babies from when they've just been born. Actually, they worked with one of the mums who was pregnant and had a diagnosis in pregnancy, and she came to our support groups and really saw what the babies that she was going to have would be like. And I'm still friends with her to this day, and they really offered her the support and everything that she needed. I was actually pregnant at the same time as a few mums who had diagnoses as well around the same time, and we were in the NICU with one of them and met them, and we both got our gift bags and we left the hospital together, and then a year later our babies are celebrating their first birthdays together, and they're really going to grow up with each other and really see how each other work and how each other thrive. And I mean, he's standing already, Arthur is, so it's just amazing to see where we could go, especially with the young adults that they work with as well. I mean, when we go to like the Christmas party each year, it's a whole mix of ages in the whole of the area, and we've actually got a different celebration now on the 21st of March, I believe, for World Down Syndrome Day. And we're having another celebration with the support group, and everyone's going to come and have a raffle and have a dance, and you can really see how they're interacting with each other, and the older children interact with the younger children, they interact with each other, they're dancing together, they're laughing, they're playing, and it's just so warming to our hearts to see. And I'm so grateful to be a part of the support group and be welcomed in by them, and then be able to offer my expertise in helping out at the events and volunteering with them as well.
Yeah, no, that's really important. And as you say, it's really important for you to share your expertise, because everybody has a story and everybody's will be sort of slightly different, and you can take some from other people's story and possibly apply them to your own. In speaking about stories, you have recently done an interview with Not TV about Footprint in Nottingham. How have they been really helpful?
So Footprints was originally introduced to me through one of the mums at the support group, and she just came in full of life and to one of the meetings and just was waving these bags around with footprints on, and I was like, "What's footprints? I've never even heard of them." And it's so strange to say, but they've been around in Nottingham supporting a range of people with disabilities, not just Down syndrome and not just Hirschsprung's disease, but things like cerebral palsy, dystonia, different conditions that you might not even know exist. I mean, a lot of them are rare diseases, and these people have trained for decades in how to really help these children thrive with these conditions. It was originally called School for Parents, and one of their main aims is to support the families and teach the families how to cope and how to really help the children thrive in their own environments. I mean, we go to Footprints on a Friday morning, but we use their methods every day, all day. It's like being shown how to be a first-time mum, but in light of their disabilities. It's very rewarding. It's very great. We've learned how to support his physio development, how to support him in standing, sitting independently, which he's doing now. And Nots TV were really capturing what we knew about Footprints and how we came to work with them, and really highlighting the importance of donation requests and things like that, because it really is difficult to keep going. They've been running for 2 decades now, and the amount of families on their waiting list they can't keep up with. So having donations and different grants and support from all the different companies that are offering help and support to them to keep going and keep the lights on and grow as a charity is really, really important to get the message out there. And that's what Knots TV were helping us do, and really showing the nation the amazing support that is on offer to them, because a lot of people just don't know that they exist, like me. I had no idea that Footprints were literally down the road from me, and now I work with them as a volunteer full time, and I'm so grateful. They're the reason why I know how to communicate with my son. They taught him sign language, and I've been carrying on with it and really helping with his feeding as well, because he can now tell me when he's full and when he's finished and when he wants water and if he wants more. And I know how to communicate with him, which I would otherwise not be able to do. So they are amazing.
Fantastic. That sounds like really fantastic work. And I can imagine, again, you weren't alone in thinking that, or not sure that there was, a place, a charity, or Footprints out there. And I'm sure that there's a lot of people that would be amazed to know that there are other places out there for them that can really, really help. With sign language and really, really important parts like that. I want to talk as well about the Knots Down Syndrome Support book recently out. Is that able to purchase for people? Where might they be able to find it?
Yeah, so if they go to Nottinghamshire's Down Syndrome Support Group website, they can order it on their online shop. It's a really amazing book filled with stories and different experiences with all different aged children and young adults with Down syndrome. It was put together by the founder of the charity, Helen, and she really is the expert on Down syndrome. I'm not gonna lie, she knows everything, and if she doesn't know, she knows someone who knows. And she really is like a whole dictionary of knowledge. She has a son called Matt who has Down syndrome as well, and he just is amazing. I think he's 19 now or 20, but she's just been running this charity in his honor, and they really are just amazing people. She's put together all everybody's stories. Mine was on breastfeeding with Down syndrome, because there's a lot of stigma around nurses and doctors discouraging breastfeeding with when you have a baby with Down syndrome, because they can't maybe latch easier enough, and they can't they get tired very easily, so if they're low muscle tone. But I give a few tips and tricks in that book on how to really encourage the baby to latch, and how to use different methods if one's not enough or one's not working. You try this, and really encourage people to be able to try breastfeeding, because it really does benefit them. And especially with Adonis's Hirschsprungs, it really helped him be able to process milk a lot better. I actually had to be dairy free my whole breastfeeding journey because he couldn't process dairy. So we were both dairy free for like 10 months, I think it was, that I breastfed for, but he absolutely loved it. And really thrived on breastfeeding. And I think having a book that really explains not only one story like that, but everybody's stories. I think there's like 96, I think, stories in there of different ages and different challenges that those people have gone through. So it really is the Bible for Down syndrome care, because there's not a thing in that book that you won't experience on your journey with Down syndrome children. So really is worth a purchase. My nursery where my boy goes is a mainstream nursery, and they've actually purchased the book to be able to help in his care and really thrive and get to know what could happen with him and other children if they were to take on other children with Down syndrome. So I'm really thankful for their open-mindedness as well.
Yeah, that definitely sounds like a wonderful resource if you need it, definitely. And speaking of article and publication, I'd like to move on to modelling, because Donnie is also a model.
Yes, Donnie is. Yeah, so he's represented by Base Model Casting in Yorkshire. And it was so strange that he got into it, because I was a model actually for 4 years. And when I got pregnant, I shut down my modelling page. and just focused on him. I had a lot going on, as you can imagine, and putting him in my shoes, it was really something that we could bond over. And then in his first year, he got an agency, and I'm just so proud of him. He was on the front of the Asda nappies. So there's a little picture of him and his fake mum. It's not me. But on the front of the newborn Little Angels nappies in Asda right now. So go and have a look. You can see his curly toes. But that was his first job, and it was amazing for him to experience that. And he's such a people person. So he absolutely loves going into modelling shoots and meeting different people. And he's so happy. So I'm really, really proud of him.
Oh, absolutely brilliant. And he really enjoys all the modelling? Enjoys the
adventure? Well, he is not camera shy in the slightest. He's exactly like Mama. Really loves the attention. I swear sometimes he fakes illnesses so that he can get attention from nurses in the hospital. As soon as we get there, he's fine.
Yeah. And lastly, we did promise the listeners toward the end that we did have a special announcement. Would you like to do the honours?
Yes. So in honour of Footprints Conductive Education Centre, which is the charity that work so closely with Adonis and myself, I'm actually doing a skydive to raise money for them. We are very nearly at our fundraising target, which is £650, which will be amazing if we can get there, and will really help support a lot of families and a lot of children, and really give them the tools that they need to thrive. And I'm really, really excited to do the skydive, but I'm so nervous. It's something that I never thought I would do, but it's been on my bucket list for a while. And how I thought of it was, well, Adonis jumps into every scenario with no fear and just goes for it. And the way that he feels with standing for the first time and walking for the first time and sitting up on his own is so small to other people, but so big to him. And I tried to think of something that would be as big a feeling as he would have. And to me, that was heights. So here I am, throwing myself out of a plane and hoping to land safely.
I'm sure you will. Best of luck with it. It's not like you can do a lot of practice or preparation for it. Jump off a bed and it's not a great deal.
When you see me just jumping off some low walls in the middle of Nottingham city centre, you know that it's really bad of practice.
Brilliant. And just very lastly, what are your and Adonis and your family's plans for the future? How do you think the future looks for you?
We're really just open, to be honest. We're trying not to plan too much. The most I've managed to plan in the last year was a small holiday an hour away from our house, just in case we have to go to the hospital again. That seems to happen quite a lot. Life is unpredictable, and I think you just go with it. That's literally how it's really forced me to not be such a planner. I would love to be able to just carry on being an over-organized planner, which is what I have been for most of my life. I'm really obsessing over things and making sure that I'm prepared for every outcome, but it's pretty impossible with Adonis, and we've just got to take every day as it comes and hope for the best. I mean, he lives every day today, has so much fun, and just makes the whole world happy. So if I can continue to do that for the rest of my life, then I've been so successful.
Brilliant. That sounds absolutely fantastic. So thank you very much for joining me. Best of luck for you and your family future, and especially for the skydive as well. Best of me.
Donate.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you ever so much for your time.
Thank you, Tom. Bye.
Thank you for listening to the podcast. Find us on Instagram at toms_Hirschrungs_podcast. Listen to the previous episodes on Spotify by searching Tom's Hirschrungs Podcast.